As for the Chargers, you are what you are. And what they are a 4-2 team that for some reason, again, I'm not an X's and O's all 22 tape head, but the stuff they're running with Justin Herbert makes it seem like they don't know who they really have there. And Brandon Staley was on this program last week, and he's a former quarterback talking about how it's the first time that Justin Herbert has shown to the country this year. Everybody knows about what he did in college, and everybody knows how he got the job initially in Los Angeles, took it over when he wasn't expected to start, and has never looked back and has been dynamite. And so many people thought he was going to be the MVP of the league this year. And they're not calling plays like he's the MVP of the league. Just look at the Buffalo Bills. What they have with this big, strong, tall, confident dude who can throw it and run it down your throat. And I know that running it down your throat is difficult when he's got a fractured rib cage. But they're going vertical. They're just pushing it down the field. They're not... I mean, and they have a better running game, with all due respect, than the Buffalo Bills. With Austin Eckler, this guy's carrying people in the end zone. It just seems to me like watching paint dry with one of the most dynamic quarterbacks you've seen in the league in a long time. They should be winning games like this by 2 touchdowns when you can't score. When you've got a defense with Khalil Mack and J.C. Jackson doing what it's doing without their Bosa. It's so frustrating watching that, too. And I don't know what the hell they were doing at the end of that game with all timeouts left. I mean...
Playing for overtime, it seemed like.
Well, they were playing for overtime after they threw it on third down and didn't get it. And they're like, well, we're not going to... I guess Brandon Staley was, I already went for it on my side of the field in 4th down last week. We were lucky to get away with it. I'm not going to do that here. I'd rather take my chances in overtime. And why not? Because Russ wasn't, forget it, he wasn't even in the kitchen. He was ordering out. So,
Uber Eats.
Whatever he was doing. So I'm sitting there wondering, I'm seeing one coach from Denver using all his timeouts on defense, and then one coach in Los Angeles, using his time, one timeout when he has the ability with Justin Herbert to just go much of the field and hand it off to his one-legged staggering kicker and try and go for a shot at the end of regulation. If I'm the Kansas City Chiefs, and I know I've just lost to the Bills, and I know I'm going to play what appears to be, unfortunately, one marquee game of Week 7. You look at the Week 7 schedule; it's not going to light too many fires just by looking at it.
Yeah.
But Kansas City at San Francisco is the marquee event of this weekend. Clearly, we all know Super Bowl rematch between these two franchises from just a couple of years ago. So here comes Kansas City going to San Francisco, and that's not going to be a great matchup for them. One would think. Although San Francisco's banged up and Kansas City almost won this game. All I'm saying is this. If I'm Kansas City and I saw that game last night, I am red R back, feet up on the table, lighting a cigar and saying, we got this thing. We got this thing. And I know the Chargers just won, and they have the same record as Kansas City and took them to the limit in Week 2 on the Thursday Night Football kickoff on Amazon Prime this year. And they have the same record. And looking at the standings right now, you're sitting here thinking, wow, that game that Mahomes invited Henry Winkler to on November 20th here in SoFi Stadium between the Chiefs and Chargers, that's a pretty big one. And it may be when we all get to it. But if I'm the Chiefs, I'm thinking long run here, we got this thing. We got this thing sewn up. We are so much better than everybody else in this division that everybody thought was the toughest division we'll see in the NFL in quite some time. I'm the Chiefs. I'm watching that Monday night game thinking, this is great. More of that, please. We're good. Let's just focus on the Bills and who might ever come out of the AFC North. If it's the Bengals again, for sure, because they have our number from last year. My 2 cents on Thursday Night Football. I'm a little fired up today. I had a lot of caffeine.